Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, from the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, AEW All in London from Wembley Stadium. Back-to-back years at Wembley. Now, I've seen a lot of people online question going to Wembley back-to-back years. And the one response to that, I love it, WrestleMania doesn't do that. Incorrect, my friend. WrestleMania 4 and 5 were in Trump Plaza in New Jersey, so it went back-to-back in the same city. WrestleMania 30 and 34 were in New Orleans in the Superdome. I went to both of them. So yes, WrestleMania has gone to multiple cities, or the same city multiple times. We found out this week that we will have All In 2025 in Texas. We also found out that Forbidden Door will be at Wembley Stadium in London, England in 2025. Can't wait. We also found on the pre-show, February 15th, Grand Slam Australia, the first show down under for AEW. So the world of AEW getting ready to celebrate their 6th-year anniversary in January. The 5 years of Dynamite happens in October. So excited to see what this company has done through 5 years. Been seeing every single match. I can't wait to see what the future holds. I know there is a TV deal imminent. There is hopefully part of all the pay-per-views will be on streaming. Please, dear God, we need it on Max because these $50 pay-per-views are getting a little steep. I want to watch them. Worth it? I don't know. For me, yes. For the average person, I don't know. But, you know, we get cards like this. Maybe it is worth it. Alright, so All In London, 0 hour. We had 3 pre-show matches. First match was a 16-man tag. I hate the booking of this for one reason. This reminds me of WrestleMania when you have to make sure everyone gets on the card. We have a 6-man tag and a mixed tag match and a 10-man tag. We have to put everybody on the card. And I will say this show had a big fight feel to it. It had a WrestleMania feel. This is how you know, I know for me, when I sit down to watch WrestleManias, there's something different about it. It's not your normal card. It's WrestleMania. This was All In. Yes, we had All In London last year. We had the original All In that began AEW. That was special. This, to me, had a little different feel than last year. It had a more of a WrestleMania feel to it, for me at least. So the 16-man tag match, we had Action Andretti, Kip Sabian, Kyle Fletcher, Lio Rush, Romero, Tommy Billington, Top Flight, Dante Martin, Darius Martin, Take It On, Anthony Ogogo, Ariya, Daivari, Jay, Lethal Private Party, Isiah, Kassidy, Marq, Quen, Satnam, Singh, The Dark Order, Alex, Reynolds, John Silver, with Evil Uno and Sonjay Dutt at ringside. Whew, 18 people out there. Yeah, it happened. It was a match. It was crazy. Fighting, everybody was fighting. It was an 8-on-8 fight at one point in the ring. You had Satnam Singh in the ring, and Lio Rush goes up and tries to chop him in the kneecap. No, he tried to chop him in the chest and his stomach. And then Satnam picked him up like a baby and tossed him. It was an okay match. It lasted 11 minutes 34 seconds. I didn't give it a 3 1/4, so it wasn't horrible. In Action Andretti, Kip Sabian, Kyle Fletcher, Lio Rush, Romero, Tommy Billington, Dante Martin, Darius Martin got the victory. Next up, we had the mixed tag match. The winner of this gets to pick the stipulation at All Out between Willow Nightingale and Kris Statlander. It was Tomohiro Ishii teaming up with Willow Nightingale, taking on Kris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Poor Stokely got chopped by Ishii. Poor Stokely's probably still trying to get his chest to stop hurting as he got chopped very hard by Ishii. Ishii and Willow Nightingale getting the victory. Ended up giving it 2.5. It lasted 8 minutes and 14 seconds. And then the main event was a 10-man tag. We had Dustin Reynolds, Katsuyori Shibata, Sammy Guevara, and the Von Erichs, Marshall and Ross, with Kevin Von Erich at ringside, taking on Gage of Agony, Bishop Khan, Brian Cage, Tayo Olnoni, and the Undisputed Era, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Yeah. The only real thing about this one was you had everybody getting kicked by the Kingdom. That was pretty much it. Four rope unnatural kicks is all it really was. It was like, okay. They all fought on the outside before the match started, and it finally took 2 people getting into the match to get it started in the ring. I ended up giving it 3-star. It was okay. 13 minutes and 8 seconds. With Dustin Rhodes, Katsuyori, Shibata, Sammy Guevara, and the Von Erichs getting the victory. Then we had Saraya coming out, cutting a promo, talking about how she won last year, that she was left off this card, she didn't feel important or needed, and then we had the return, and we had all of her family on the outside, or out with her, and then we had Jamie Hayter return from injury. Over a year she had been out, come out and attack Saraya, attacked Saraya's family. So obviously we're setting up something with Saraya and Jamie Hayter for the future. And then the card starts, the All In London card, top to bottom. It was very predictable based on what AEW has done in the past, but it was a good predictable. So the first match, we had AEW World Trios title on the line in the London ladder match, TLC match. Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac taking on the Patriarchy, which was current champions Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne, with Mother Wayne at ringside, versus House of Black, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi Black. Also out there would be Bang Bang Gang, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, Juice Robinson. So 4 teams, 12 wrestlers, trios titles in a ladder match. Wow. Pac immediately dive off the top rope onto the outside. The Guns hit the 3D what's up on I think they hit that on the BCC. Christian Cage runs to the back. Everybody's fighting. Then he runs back up to run up the ladder. Then he runs in the back again. Mother Wayne comes out and tries to climb the ladder to get the titles. Was stopped by the Guns. Before the Guns could do anything, Nick Wayne comes in and hits a cutter off the top rope through a table. It's like, holy snappers. The Guns on the back of the the Guns on the back of Claudio. He puts him through a table. You had Christian and Killswitch hit the Killswitch on Pac on a chair. Pac knocks Christian off the ladder. I mean, you had all kinds of just craziness out there. And then you end up having BCC, Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac climbed the ladders, or Pac climbed the ladder, pulled down the first title. Once you pulled down one title, match was over. Then you had the rest of them climb up and grab the title. So the BCC, the new AEW World Trios Champion. And when I say this show was predictable to a point, last year AEW let the folks from Europe win. Saraya won the AEW Women's title. So here, Pac, Claudio, they get to win in front of their home crowd. Thought that was a cool moment for them. I give it 4 1/4. I enjoyed it. It's a hell of a good match. Next up, we had the AEW Women's World Title on the line. Champion Toni Storm taking on Mariah May. To me, this match had a lot of psychology to it. You had just the feud that's been going on with Toni Storm and her taking Mariah May under her wing, and then Mariah May winning the Owen Hart Cup, and then turning on Toni Storm, and now Mariah May making Toni Storm a life of living hell. You had Mariah had a powerbomb on Toni on the outside. You had Mariah slap her own mother who's sitting in the crowd. Storm hit Mariah on the steps. Mariah's busted open. Mariah ended up taking down Toni Storm and getting the 1, 2, 3 with her. You had Tony Storm just in the ring like, oh my God, what happened? Crowd erupts from Mariah May, and then little boos in it. 15 minutes and 14 seconds. I ended up giving it 3.5. Mariah May, again, from Europe, new AEW Women's World Champion. Next up, we had For the World title on the FTW title line and FTW Rules. Hook taking on champion Chris Jericho. Because it's FTW Rules, it was 3-on-1. Big Bill, Brian Keith, Chris Jericho beating down Hook. Jericho brings in a bag of cricket balls. Like, what are we doing here? Whew. This match was a cluster. Taz comes out and ends up putting the sleeper hold or his Taz lock hold on Brian Keith. They end up putting Big Bill through a table. End up making it 1-on-1 with Jericho and Hook. Hook was able to get the victory over Jericho. I ended up giving it 2 3/4 star. It was a 10-minute and 14-second match. Next up, we had the AEW tag titles on the line. Triple threat match. We had champion the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, taking on FTW or FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, taking on the Acclaim and Nebo and Max Caster. The Acclaim once again paid homage to the Dudley Boys at the Top Rope 3D. What's up? With the scissors kind of version of it on the both Bucks, to the books tied up. You had Caster and Matt Jackson doing the EVP trigger on Dax. You had Cash Wheeler and Max Caster doing the like 3D thing, that whatever that move is that the FTR does. Doing that on Nick Jackson. It's like Max Caster, the part of both teams there for a minute. You had Nick Jackson hitting the belt on, because Billy Gunn was out on the ringside. You had Billy getting hit with the belt. You ended up having the Bucks pin FTR 1, 2, 3 middle of the ring, and they giving the match itself 3.5. I loved what happened next. You had this tag team come out. The grizzled young veterans, Liverpool's #1, Zach Gibson, or James Drake and Zach Gibson. Grizzled young veterans coming out confronting the Bucks, and then the grizzled young veterans attacked FTR at ringside. So it looks like the grizzled young veterans are all elite. I love it. I love it. I love it. One of the great tag teams of the modern era. Next up, we had the AEW World Title #1 contendership Casino Gauntlet match. You had Orange Cassidy winning #1 contender match #1 match on this, so he entered #1. Just because there's multiple entrances doesn't mean they were all going to make it in. The first pinfall ends it. So the first person in was Orange Cassidy. The second person in was Kazuchika Okada. If Cassidy would have pinned Okada, the match is over. Everybody else does not get in. Next one out was a surprise. I'm very happy with what the surprise was. It was the one, the only, oh you wankers out there, Nigel McGuinness, Pro Wrestling Return. His first match since 2011. The last time he was in a main promotion looks like November 26th, 2011 in WXW. He left TNA in looks like September of 2010. So yeah, it's been a while since we got to see Nigel McGuinness in a ring wrestling. The last time he wrestled in a ring, known as because he was Desmond Wolfe in TNA, known as Nigel McGuinness. Actually, I think was his. Yeah, I guess he was Nigel, and he did some independent stuff there in 2011. But prior to his TNA stint, he was last known as Nigel McGuinness in Ring of Honor. Let's see here. Glory by Honor. Glory by Honor 8, Final Countdown. September 26, 2009. His last match in Ring of Honor was against Bryan Danielson. They were talking on the commentary. The only reason he entered this match because if he won, and if Bryan Danielson won, we would have Danielson and Nigel. Before Danielson retires, the only match I want to see is Nigel and Bryan. I want to see it in 2024. I want to see it under the Ring of Honor banner. I want that to be. I want Bryan's supposed to retire from full-time competition. That's awesome. I want him to go spend time with his family. I want Final Battle, December. Retirement match for them both. Nigel McGuinness versus Bryan Danielson, main event, Final Battle. Just a retirement, just basically just a send-off. We're both retiring. This is it. See you on the other side, and go out and have a Nigel McGuinness, Bryan Danielson kind of match. That would be cool as hell. But in the meantime, Okada, Nigel, face-to-face, I lost it. Oh, yes, I lost it. Then we had Kyle O'Reilly come out. Then we had Zack Sabre Jr. come out. We had Zack Sabre Jr. face-to-face with Nigel. Didn't know I wanted to see that. I want to see that now. Zack Sabre Jr. come off his G1 win. He will main event Wrestle Kingdom. He was trying to main event AEW as well here. Then we had Roderick Strong come out. Then we had Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe, Adam Page, Jeff Jarrett. And the surprise. Everyone knew it. Everybody knew he signed. Yes, the one and only Ricochet come out. Ricochet and Adam Page had a little moment. I went, you know that match I didn't know I wanted until I see it. Now I know I want it. Yeah, just like Nigel and Okada, Nigel and Sabre. Yep. I want Ricochet and Adam Page, please. Christian Cage comes out. In the meantime, before Cage comes out, Jeff Jarrett hit Adam Page. With Karen was holding Page's ankles, got Page's attention. Jeff Jarrett walloped him with a freaking guitar. He was out. We had Christian Cage come out. Christian Cage, Nigel. That could be fun. Christian Cage comes out. Luchasaurus comes out. And it came out of Luchasaurus. So everybody's like, what? Because remember, in that trios match, when the Patriarchy lost, Christian Cage blamed Killswitch, a.k.a. Luchasaurus. So we thought here Luchasaurus was going to turn on Christian Cage. No, he helped him. Helps Christian Cage pin Roderick Strong. Christian Cage, your new #1 contender. So it looks like we maybe get Christian Cage versus Bryan Danielson down the road. Okay. That should be alright. I ended up giving this match 4.25 star with Christian Cage getting the victory there. Next up we had, I can't believe I'm going to say this, second best match of the night. The AEW International / American title line, champion MJF taking on the best in the world, William Ospreay. The video package of William Ospreay before this match, holy cow, that was awesome. I'm an MJF fan and a Will Ospreay fan. This is one of those matches I just went, we're going to watch it again. I need to watch it again. We've already watched it once. We're going to watch it again because it was good. We saw what their 60-minute match did on Dynamite. Wow. Ospreay went for early head and blade. MJF moved. Max took a powerful lead on this match, it seemed like. Multiple counters. They were countering each other all over the place. Ospreay was taking some high-risk maneuvers and missing. MJF hit the tombstone on the outside after Ospreay flipped. Ospreay did the flip to the outside. MJF caught him to the tombstone. MJF said he said anybody can flip. Like, really? Kind of just shitting on Ospreay. Ospreay had Spanish fly to the outside. MJF did the Panama Sunrise on the apron. I mean, just high-risk maneuvers here. Ospreay went for the Os Cutter on the apron, and MJF just stepped back and crashed and burned by Ospreay. Ospreay goes for a hidden blade on the ring side. He went to dive and do a hidden blade. MJF moved and he just annihilated one of the camera guys. MJF hit Ospreay with the belt. Both of them go back and forth going for the Tiger Driver. Max is a low blow. Max has the brass knucks and goes to hit Ospreay with him. Masked Man comes out and stops him, pulls the mask off. It's Daniel Garcia returning. Ospreay hit the Tiger Driver 91 on MJF. 1, 2, and 3. Your new AEW International Champion, William Ospreay, winning in his home country. I love that storyline. 4 3/4 star match. Ospreay getting the victory. Yeah, you heard me earlier. That's the second best match of the night. Oh, yeah. Next up, we have the AEW TBS title line champion Mercedes Moné taking on the returning Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Moné going after Britt's back, because we all know Britt had back surgery, why she was out part of it. Camille got involved, destroyed Britt at one point. Britt was on the top rope, was able to counter Moné. Camille went to hit Moné with the title belt, the New Japan Strong Women's title belt. She missed. Moné took the belt from her, Moné took the belt from her, threw the belt back to Camille, and just fell on the ground, aka Eddie Guerrero. The referee, it looked like she hit her with it. The referee kicks Camille out, which is hilarious. And she goes to hit Britt with it behind the referee's back. Britt ducks. Then that's when Camille gets kicked out. Britt went to go for the Panama Sunrise, turns it into a curb stomp. Somehow Moné kicks out. Moné was able to get the victory on her. What a back and forth crazy match. 17 minutes and 19 seconds. Mercedes Moné retaining her AEW TBS champion. I give it 3 3/4 star. I thought it was a damn good match. I know some people online didn't think it was that good. I thought it was that good, personally. I enjoyed it. I was also expecting something to happen at the end. Maybe somebody coming in, but nothing did happen. It was like, huh, okay. Next up is the AEW TNT Championship on the line in a coffin match. We had Jack Perry, the scapegoat, coming out. The coffin was out there. You had Darby Allin dragging a body bag with him. Jack Perry brought the body bag out. Darby Allin out there. I mean, Darby's taking dives. He ended up picking the casket up straight up and down. Scapegoat standing there. Darby does a dive on trying to hit. He actually hit him once on one dive. Went to do it again and just crashed and burned. Jack Perry pulls out a bag, dumps it out. Broken glass. Yes. People online lost their shit over this broken glass spot. And you had the crowd chanting, "Fuck CM Punk! Fuck CM Punk!" It was awesome. I get why they felt they needed to do the glass spot. You ended up having Darby back body drop Jack Perry in the glass. Because Punk got pissed off at Jack Perry last year for using real glass, which wasn't Punk's business. That's when Punk hit, attacked, whatever, beat Jack Perry backstage. We've all seen the video. The scapegoat character came from that. People online, people calling in the bus open. I heard a couple callers going, why even bring that up? Well, CM Punk is taking shots at AEW on WWE TV all the time. Half of his promos is a shot at AEW. So this was kind of that Darby, this is kind of that Jack Perry firing back at it. I didn't have an issue with it. He ends up putting Jack Perry in the body bag. Jack Perry put Darby Allin in the body bag. Ends up putting him in the coffin. Ends up pouring gas on the coffin. The Bucks come out. They're with him with they have the gas can. Pour the gas on it. They go to light it. Lights go out. Music hits. It's Sting! Sting returned to help out Darby Allin. Like he said when he retired, he was going to keep an eye on Darby Allin. He come out to help him. Don't know if it's going to turn into any kind of match or anything, but I love the fact that we had, just hearing Tony Schiavone, it's Sting! That doesn't never get old. I watched WCW, and that was one of the great parts of Tony Schiavone. But yeah. Jack Perry ended up getting the victory, retaining his AEW TNT Championship. Ended up giving the match 3.5. we had that lot going on at the end. I was expecting more of what Paul Bearer of Mankind did to Taker when they had the big black casket and they set it on fire. They opened it and he was gone. Taker was off TV for a while and came back. I was expecting something like that when they went to set it on fire, but we didn't get that. I'm kind of glad we didn't get that, but that would have been kind of a play off of what happened back then. But 3.5 star Jack Perry retaining his title. The main event, the AEW World Heavyweight title on line, champion versus career. Champion Swerve Strickland taking on the one and only Bryan Danielson. Holy shit. 26 minutes. I wasn't sure this match was going to go that long at first. You had Bryan out there with Bree and the kids. You had Prince Nana getting involved. You had JR come out. I'm sorry, JR needs to hang up the microphone. JR has lost not a step, but 2 or 3 steps. It's sad. As a, Attitude Era fan, seeing what JR is now, I don't need to see that anymore. I'm sorry. Having JR say Dana Bryan, I get it. I get it because that's what he was then. But JR, it's 2024. He's Bryan fucking Danielson. Prince Nana coming out. Me and Prince Nana got history. Chapter 2 Hate. Go watch it if it's on Honor Club. You'll see me and J-Man from the Pulse sitting right there where they come out at, and Nana is making fun of people in the crowd, calling them fat, and you got me on that DVD going to Prince Nana. Me and Prince Nana got heat. Hopefully we can bring that up one of these shows coming up someday. But you and Nana grab the ring bell, put it on the apron when Swerve with DDT Bryan onto the ring bell. He did the Death Valley Driver onto the title belt. You had Danielson Avalanche Tiger Suplex on the ring. Danielson doing cattle mutilation. Swerve did a backwards dive. I don't know what the hell you want to call that. It was nuts. Well, when he did it, it kind of... if you watch enough wrestling, you could see Dana Bryan, he kind of hit the base of his neck. All of his neck surgeries are supposedly supposed to have another one for the end of the year. Medical staff hit the ring. It's like, oh, don't let it in like this. I hate for that. Then you had Swerve kicking the medical staff out. A bloody Bryan Danielson kicks out. He ends up doing the it kicks. Swerve brushes off. He starts brushing off the kicks. Paige comes out, trying to distract Swerve because we know they got history. Danielson was able to dig deep, and come out with a victory here. Pinfall victory, 1, 2, 3. The American Dream, Bryan Danielson, your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I could not help and give this 5 star, and here's part of why. The psychology that was involved in this match. Watching Swerve Strickland, watching Bryan Danielson methodically go through things in this match, and the fact that they knew when to sell, when not to sell. I enjoyed the hell out of this match because you had those moments where it made sense of Swerve brushing off the kicks. You had it make sense when he was down and out and almost, like he can't continue. But yeah, overall great match. 5 star match. Match of the night. Match of the year. Bryan Danielson, your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. We'll hear from him on Dynamite about his future and stuff. So yeah, the future is bright for AEW in my opinion. One of the top pay-per-views. Some of the great matches in AEW history happened on this show. We'll look back at this show and we're going to see a 4 3/4 star American title, international title match. We're going to see a 5-star world title match. Those will go down on some of the lists of top 20 matches in AEW history. So that's all you can ask for. Great matches, great show, great flow, great everything. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show from the independent scene to the main event of Don't just have a great evening. Have a spiffy night. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.